Good morning. This is Tony from Tony Doukas Racing with TDR Tech Talk. I will do a continuation on crankshaft bearings. Still working on the main bearings. A lot of people use the TZ style bearing on the different Banshees and RZs. There's a couple different things about these bearings you should know about. One is they're available in many different versions. Some are completely encapsulated, meaning the inner race cannot move, cannot be separated. Some have no shoulder on the inner race, and some have a shoulder on one side. The one-sided one is the typical one. If it is installed in this particular way, what happens is the angled gear on your crankshaft will push this, try to push your crankshaft in this direction. And you can see that the shoulder on the inner race will allow the crankshaft to be pushed to the center of, will allow the crankshaft to be pushed to the left side of your crankcase. If this bearing is installed in this direction, or if the inner race is installed in this direction, that angle drive on the gear will push against this bearing here. The locating half ring that you use on your crankcases will keep the entire crankshaft from moving. If for any reason your crankshaft is assembled with the shoulder in this direction, another fix is the next center main bearing. You can take the O-ring off of the groove there and actually cut a groove in the crankcases so that you can lock that second bearing from the clutch side on the inner side of the crankshaft. What I do is I do suggest that, even if you're using this bearing in this particular arrangement, that is an additional support to keep the crankshafts from moving over to the ignition side. Also, these TZ bearings have a riveted bearing race, similar to the ones I covered in my Crankshaft 2 video. These little rivets will come off and will go through your motor. The bearings that I sell are sold in this particular setup, has the nylon retainer, and that will not fail. I love it. So many Facebook people are, oh, that is an electric grade bearing and it is not designed for what you're doing. That nylon cage is in all of Worldwide Bearings ceramic hybrid bearings. They're in crankshaft bearings that I use. That same nylon cage is the retainer material that holds the TZ style bearing in place. And right here I have for you, there is the RPM rating for this bearing in oil, 12,000 RPM. That actually is 1,000 RPM over some of the standard bearings with the riveted steel retainer cage. Basically, people who say that an electric grade bearing with the nylon or polymer retainer material is not suited for crankshafts, I will tell you it is. Been using it for years. I'll sign off for today. Thank you very much. Keep tuned for TDR Tech Talk.